What's up, y'all? That Real Car Guy here. Checking in with you guys. We're about to do, man, one of my new mods that I got for Luna. I'm really excited about this. We've already done the fronts. Now we got the rears. Yeah, we're about to do the Aerospace Pro Drag Rear Brake Kit. Stay tuned. Alright, here's the brake kit, you guys. Here's what you'll get in your package. I'm a 6th gen Camaro. And you can see here we're getting the rear street drag system, 16 through 22 Camaro. So this is what will come for yours if it's the same vehicle. We got the bolts here, and these tie the hats to the actual rotors. You should have 2 rotors, 2 hats, the bolts, the tool inside, brake pads, obviously your calipers, brake pads there, bolts to and washers to tie the calipers on. And then I always get the braided lines because they're better than the factory lines that are on there, so I always get these. So some of the things that I do first off is I'm going to take each one of these bolts, I'm going to dunk it inside of some acetone or lacquer thinner, whatever I have here, and then take a paper towel, each one out, and dry them off. After that, I'm going to take a Q-tip, I'm going to shove it down each one of these with that lacquer or acetone and clean out each one of those, and then dry it out with a little bit of compressed air. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that step off camera, and then I'll check back with you guys once I get everything cleaned and then what my next step will be. Quick check back in while I'm doing the cleaning process. You can see when you stick the Q-tips down each one of these, there's little aluminum burrs that you want to get out of there. Yeah, and as you see, there's grease and stuff on these bolts that could hinder the red Loctite, and you don't want these bolts backing out because they're literally in a really vital spot, and if they back out it would be very dangerous. So take your time during this step, clean it, and we'll check back with you in a second when I start putting everything together. Alright, now we're on to the next step here. I like to wipe all oil and stuff off from even the rotor, the hat. I try to make sure everything's nice and clean. Surfaces are clean. That way everything's mating up really nice, and everything goes really good. But what you're going to do now is you're going to take each one of these bolts and you're going to take your red Loctite, and I like to fill the entire bolt. And this is all aluminum stuff, so be very careful. Do this all by hand. That way you're not stripping anything. Go ahead and get this down. We're not going to tighten it all the way, but we're just going to get it down. That way we can move the rotor around still. Coat her up. We're going to go directly across. You're going to work in a same kind of pattern like if you were putting wheels or anything on. And then me, I kind of like get it in, kind of give it like a little jimmy to try to make sure it's centered. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll stick these first 4 in real quick here. And I'll do the rest off camera. And once we're off the camera, we'll go to the next step, which will be more or less at the car. I'm gonna take off the rear tires and everything else there. I'll kind of just quick explain it. I'm not going to show you all the details, but I'll just quick explain that stuff of what I'll do. Yeah, that's the process there. I'm going to do the rest, and I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Guys, back out here at Luna, as you can see, I told you I was going to get the car to a point where, you know, basically where I thought everybody else could get themselves to. So what I basically did was remove the rear caliper, I removed the rotor, and right now one of the steps that you run into is this dust cover is all sorts of in the way, as well as you need to remove the emergency brake system. So right now what I'm going to do is there's these tabs right here. You pull out and twist, and you get those removed. And the braking system will come out. You got to kind of mess with the springs and stuff right here. So I'm going to get all that taken out, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, emergency brakes are off. Here's the little pin. You twist it. Comes out of these little dealies. The whole thing basically falls all apart. Now, there is 2 options when doing these brakes. You can go with the option where you take and you remove the rear axle, which if you're going to do so, I suggest don't pull your caliper or your brakes off until you loosen the bolt. I suggest that you loosen the bolt before you take your brakes off, so you can have somebody inside hold the brakes. That way they're not spinning and you don't mess up anything in the rear end, trying to put overdue torque on it. But I'm not going to do that on mine. I'm going to be janky, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a lot of this around here to get rid of this shield, and then I'm going to bang some of it back. I've already done this on one Camaro before, so I kind of know what I'm going after. So I'm going to start doing that, and I'll check back in with you guys every so often here and show you the process. Alright, so after some loud noises and grinding, we got this off. Now, also from what I remember is I've got to cut this bottom little deal off in order for it to fit. But let's grab this real quick. These weigh 10.8 pounds. Jack, you right there? My dog. Yeah, so from what I remember, number one, I gotta get this bolt and get that out of there. So number two, I've got to go in here and clearance a lot of this. I don't know how much you guys could see of that, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all that clearancing. And then I'll kind of show you exactly what I did. I'm going to bang this panel backwards and make it nice and flush too. So check back with you in a little bit. Okay, so we got everything chopped up, trimmed out the way. Even if you don't cut this, you still have to cut or drill out. Well, still you have to cut, but you have to drill out these little bolts here. I'll show you in just a second. That go to this piece right here. So you can see there goes the back half of one that I finished out with, but you've got these 2 bolts, and there's blackheads right there, and you've got to get through those so this whole piece falls off, because there's a lot of shit in the way right there. So here is your final product that will accept the caliper. In my opinion, this is the easiest way, and it's not like terrible. Like, you can go ahead and remove this bolt and everything, but I just don't want to do that, and this works great this way. So next mission I have is to take this clip off, unbolt here, bolt in the new caliper, throw the new bolt in here, and torque everything down, and this one's installed. I have to obviously bleed the brakes, but yeah, I'll check back in with you guys after I get this taken off, the caliper taken off, and I'm gonna weigh what we removed compared to the 10.8 pounds that we're gonna be putting on here. So yeah, I'll check back with you guys here very shortly. All right, y'all, got a little dark, so lights on. But yeah, so we got the rest installed, and what you do is you get this connected to here, put your clip back how you disconnected it. You get the supplied bolts, put them through, spin them on, torque them down. You torque them down to 55 foot-pounds. These ones were with a 19 millimeter. So we got that all done. Now I've got my brother here. He's gonna go inside the car. I'm gonna have him go ahead, pump the brakes for me. We're gonna do a little bit of bleeding. So let's do that right now. Jump inside. Let me get lefty loosey, righty tighty figured out. All right, it's tight, so go ahead and push a bunch of times, and then tell me when you're holding. All right, I'm tight. You know, pump it a bunch of times again. Okay, I want to go fill up the fluid real quick and make sure the fluid's not emptied out. All right, guys, so that's what you basically do right now, is we're going to bleed the brakes. I think most of you guys, if you're doing this, you know how to bleed brakes. So we're going to bleed the brakes the rest of the way. And install is pretty much done. Yeah. If I can think of anything else, I'll cut back on here in a little bit. If not, I'll come back for a quick little outie. Thanks, guys. A little dirty from this install, but what's up, y'all? That real car guy here. Obviously, that real car guy dirty. Yeah, we just got the Aerospace drag rear brakes finished up. Yeah, I did not too detailed of a video, but somewhat of a detailed video, so you guys kind of understand how these brakes get installed. This is my second set of rears that I've installed. So now I've done 2 sets of rears and 2 sets of fronts, because we do have the fronts on there as well. So yeah, now we're matching front and rear. Total pounds that we dropped, these weighed 10.6 pounds per side, and the stock weighed 28.8 pounds. So we lost 18.2 pounds per side, which is 36.4 pounds total. That's pretty nice. And it's rotational mass, so it's gonna equivalent to just a little bit more. But yeah, take a gander here. There's your finished product. I'm gonna remove this wheel card here, like I did to the other side, but yeah. Here's your Aerospace brake install for the 6th gen Camaro. Please like, share, subscribe. I could use the help. I'm a small channel, and you know, the more y'all like, subscribe, comment and stuff, the more I want to keep doing this. So appreciate y'all. Peace.